Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Etho, and welcome back to another episode of the Let's Play series. We're going to start this one off heading into the sheep farm. You remember, we made this not too long ago. The solution to all our wool problems right over here. Yep. I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed with it. No, it's good. It works fine when I'm at it, but the problem is it doesn't actually run just on its own. Like, you have to be within 32 blocks of the sheep, otherwise they go into AFK mode and they stop eating grass and they stop producing. So this only ever really works when I'm flying by it or something, right? I don't actually spend time at the pyramid here. But yeah, I was expecting these were gonna be loaded, overflowing with wool, and they're just like, they're not even full yet. It's fine, I don't use very much wool. What we're doing here, we're gonna grab some black wool. We're gonna be making a bunch of banners to duplicate some of these letters I just crafted up. And then we're gonna use these banners for a little experiment I think we should check out. It's an idea I've been wanting to try. But first, you know, I have updated. We're in 121.10. The Copper Age is here, everybody, and I was running through the items. We actually got a lot of new stuff this update. So let's just go through it real quick here. Starting off with copper nuggets. Yep. Boom. They've added copper chains, which of course they can also be oxidized, and they look cool and very, they're gonna be very useful, I think, for a lot of different builds. Kind of a unique block model, right? So it's gonna have a lot of uses. Yeah, copper torches. Bam. You get 4 of them. What do they look like? Ooh, yeah. Oh, the F3 has changed too. Yeah, that's right. We got like a customizable F3 screen, I think. Where's it doesn't show my block lighting anymore. No, I need that. To edit, press F3 and F6. Oh my goodness. What? Oh, there's so much here. We want to find light levels. Yes, there we go. Okay, that wasn't too hard. Done. And now if we bring this up, look at that. Sky to 13 at the block. What's it at the feet? That's what we really want to know. 14, so it's the same as a torch. You know what? I think these look pretty good now. Like, when they first came out, they were a super saturated green color, but they mellowed them out and they added a little bit of blue to them, I think. They're more teal. It looks good. I could definitely see using that, especially with like sandstone and stuff. That's a good color. Very cool. And with the torches, we can also craft lanterns, which I also was not a fan of. Let's see what they're like now. Okay, they do oxidize, so maybe they just don't look the greatest with the copper color. Yeah, these I'm gonna have to think about for a bit. Okay, moving on. We got copper bars instead of iron bars. Very cool stuff. And these also oxidize. Copper chests, and they also oxidize. They have an iron buckle. Huh. I don't know what I was expecting. It wasn't that though. And again, the Minecraft sound engineering, top notch as it's been for a while now. You know, the normal squeaky chest. Isn't that good? That's really good. Like, you can tell it's metal, but it's also a gentle sound. Like, it's not going to annoy you to death going through your storage room, I don't think. Okay, moving on. We also got armor and tools. Should we wear them? We should probably wear them, right? I was just going to put them on the wall, but like, no, let's actually put these on. See what Etho looks like with the copper armor on. You put trim on these and stuff. Okay, yeah. So it's like an early game armor. We got 5 bars. Maxed out here, so that's, you know, it's decent. I kind of wish they made it so you could reinforce leather armor with copper or something. That way we would have, you know, the extra strength, but then have it be dyeable. Would have been cool, but you know, it's fine. Okay, then there's the tools. These also are like below iron, but above stone kind of thing. And I have to play with those a little bit. They made it so you could oxidize lightning rods now too, so they can turn like the blue color. The big thing though is, of course, these little guys. And interestingly, This is a way to craft chests with no wood. But we got the 4 different colors. And then at the final tier, they can oxidize and turn into completely still statues. Oh, he just did it! Look at that! And I think they have different poses. Yeah, it's so cool. And these output a comparator signal. They both are locked onto the same thing. I can tell. They're going for the bars. Yeah, he got the bars. So he took the full stack. He's trying to deliver it to the chest, but this guy's in his way. So they can block each other. That's interesting. The animations are so good. Oh, I'm excited about this. But that's not everything with this update. We also... I'm trying to record my Let's Play. We also got one of the greatest things added to this game since moss, mud, and shulker boxes. I am, of course, talking about the copper horse armor. No, the shelves. Look at the shelves. They look so good, don't they? Oh, it's such a good decorative block. And not only do we have like the amazing front texture of this, we also have a back texture for all of them. That's a little bit different than the stripped log version. So you mix them together and get all kinds of variations. So you've probably already seen like what you can do with these. There's so many decorative things that they're great for trim. You know, you want your build to look better, you just add some of this stuff basically. You put it near the ceiling and you get like a fancy crown molding kind of thing, or baseboards, or people use these for making all kinds of furniture. It's so easy to just like make a table, a chair, you name it. And it gives it like a fancy edge kind of thing, like so. And if that wasn't great enough, you can also put stuff in the shelves and then use it for displays. You can use it to add more decoration. Oh, he's got, oh, should I kill him? I shouldn't kill him. Wait, let's capture this guy. That's the first copper armor guy I've ever seen. He's gonna kill me though. Okay, let's loop him. I'm gonna eat. We're getting sidetracked here. Oh, I want a boat so bad. Okay, let's loop him over here. I'm gonna try craft a boat. We're gonna go back to the... Whoa, dear! He's got a weapon too. I think, was that a copper shovel? Boat? Okay, he shouldn't be too hard to get. Yeah, there we go. We'll call him Cooper, the first of his name. The shelves are like an S-tier building block, but they also function as a storage container. You can put a stack of items in each slot, which is awesome. And they also have redstone capabilities, which we'll check out in a little bit. But and also redstone capabilities that affect the look of them. Like you can power them to get different looks and combine that in different ways to change things up. So there's just so much you can do with them. So when you select an item, it swaps it out. Like if I select my carrots, it'll swap the full stack when I right click on it. Nothing happens when you left click or shift left click. I was kind of hoping like one item would go into your inventory or on the ground. Kind of, if you've played modded Minecraft, you know storage drawers. What else would be cool is if you could like wax them and then it would remember what goes in that spot, and maybe it always keeps one in there or something. As is though, it's already a pretty complicated block, so maybe they just didn't want to add more function to it because then it might confuse people a bit because it's already a lot to take in, right? I did want to check. I named a torch bright on the anvil here. Does it display like an item frame? No, it doesn't. It doesn't show the name or anything. Okay, good to know. Good to know. What else do we want to do? So the actual function of this with redstone is it allows you to swap out your hotbar, which is pretty cool. I don't know if I would really use that much in survival Minecraft, but I could definitely see that being useful in like setting up mini games. Like maybe you have a special loadout for a ranger, one for a warrior, one for whatever, and then you just right click it and that's how you select your stuff, maybe. There's probably lots of different things you can do with it. So if it's powered and I right click, it swaps all 3 items with the last 3 in my hotbar, which is cool. And then if you connect more of these together, it'll do like 6. So besides all the cool decorative things you can do with the shelves, the main thing I'm interested in with them is They function almost like monitors in this game. Like they're a real compact way of displaying text or numbers. Like we can use them for score displays, for feeding us information. You know, eventually we might be able to interact with them and use it almost like a computer. I'm getting excited about these things. I think what I want to try do today is see if we can connect a bunch of them together in a line and have it like display a line of text, and then we can press a button and have it scroll to the next line of text and then the next line, and then have it all loop back to the beginning. I think that would be a good challenge just to get us a little more familiar with them. Yeah, so let's just head into our redstone room and see what we can do here. Whoop. I love this door. Oh yeah, we got the new ceiling in here too. I forgot about that. It's been a while since we've been in here. So I think the first thing to note about the shelves, they don't really look the greatest with redstone. Like they definitely prioritized the decorative function over the redstone function. And what I mean by that is, like, you see, if you want to make it interact with a hopper, you have to do that. And ideally for redstone, you would want this at the front of the hopper, not at the back, because you can't hide the hopper in any way, right? And likewise, it doesn't look good with the hopper above. So you pretty much have to insert from the back if you want to hide the redstone and make it look nice. Okay, so I think the way this is going to have to work is we got to keep this bottom hopper powered in the default state, but when we want to swap to the next line of text, we got 4, 5, 6 in here ready to go. We unpower this. That's the rate it drains as well. Then we got to repower it and then unpower the top. And then it pulls the items out of there. Now we cannot, this is where things get a little bit complicated. We can't have like 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 here and then 4, 5, 6 unpowered. Like it'll stay in there. But once this starts to drain, this is what happens. It goes to the first slot, and then they go out of order. So if we want to try preserve the order of things, that's not going to work. But then things get even more complicated, because we want to be able to store like multiple lines of text, ideally. And we'd probably use a double chest or a shulker unloader into a double chest if we want to like store a book's worth of information. But you get the idea. Like we need some kind of storage above this hopper. And if this is our order 7890 and we do what we just did, it's not going to work, because like we unpower this, we repower it, and now when we unpower this, it's going to come out of the first slot first, and then this will fill up and it'll go 4, 7, 8. Now thankfully I already know what to do in this situation, because I've dealt with this problem in the shulker search engine. What you do is you have like your main chest of items, and then when this one pulls the items out of the shelf, you don't send them back into here, you send them into a second chest, you lock this hopper, and when this chest runs out of stuff, you lock this, you unlock this, and then it refills in the exact same order. It's important. And then when you let items in the shelf, you only let 3 in at a time. Oh boy. And if that's not enough, we also want to have multiple shelves next to each other, like right next to each other, hopefully. So that means we gotta make this all one wide tileable. I just realized we have one more option too. We could go the hopper minecart route. Like if we do a trap door here and a hopper minecart passes under that, it will drain the shelf. Check this out. It doesn't get all 3 letters though, but I just thought of a trick. Check this out. If we do fence gate on both sides just to hold the water in place. Actually, let's do, this might get messy. Water, because you can waterlog a trap door, right? And then, boom, like that. So water slows down minecarts. So I think it might grab the letters this way. So if we do 1, 2, 3 again. Yeah. Yes. Oh, look at this monstrosity. What have I done here? So I spent a few minutes working it out if we could do it with a hopper minecart, and it turns out we can. This does work, and I do believe this is one wide tileable, so we can take this slice you see here, repeat it 15 times, like spread this out this way, right? And then we could have up to 15 shelves, 45 characters per line of text. And I think we could mirror it as well, so we could get up to double that. Yeah, it works. It works. So check this out. This is the order of our stuff in the chest. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, right? We got 1, 2, 3 in the shelf loaded already. We hit the button. This is what happens. We release the hopper minecart. It picks up the numbers. The next ones come in. It drops off those numbers and those 2 hoppers up there to the back of the queue in order. And then, oh, we missed it. Let's go it again. Watch it again. Grabs those. Goes up here, up the staircase. And then we break the minecart with a cactus just because we don't want to store it in the world as an entity. It causes lag if we do. So we just store it in a dispenser until we're ready to cycle the next line of text. And then let's go again. 7, 8, 9. We only have 0 left. There's our 0. Let's hit it one more time. Get that out of there. So this works. I think we can do better though. As I was building this, I realized like there's a couple issues with it. But look at this. So we got them all in order in the back chest here. The rules to this game are we cannot have any items pile up in the hoppers. If we have more than 1 item in a hopper, they'll go out of order. So we always have to make sure if something goes in a hopper, we get it out before we put another thing in. But now that we got the back chest filled, we can let it flow into here. And because only 1 item's going into the hopper at a time, they don't go out of order. And then we lock that again, and we're ready to go again. Aha! So, what are the problems with this? Well, for one thing, it got a little bit bigger than I was expecting. I think we could compact this maybe a little bit more. Like, instead of having a ramp going up, maybe we did a water elevator around, I think it would have to be about here to bring the minecart up and then have the water flow at the top onto the rail there. We could maybe shave off 2 or 3 blocks off the back here. But it's still pretty big. And then we also have the issue of we're using water in the design, so we could never build this in the nether. Hopper minecarts, you know, if a mob lands on the track or an item somewhere, it's going to mess everything up. And, you know, the hopper minecart goes at a very fixed rate. We could never speed it up or slow it down, so we don't get precise timings with things either. So building this out of redstone, I think we're going to get it a lot more crisp, a lot more fancy. It's just going to be a lot harder for me to work out. This I did in a couple minutes, right? But yeah, overall, it is possible, and I'm excited. What can we do now? Oh, the other big thing with this, this would be an absolute pain to build. Like, if you did a slice next to this, you have this issue with rails, right? They connect to the thing next to them. And it's possible to work it out, but it's not something the average person is going to ever want to do. By the way, this new effect in the end is really weird. So we get these little starburst things, and then it changes the ground like purple and stuff for a moment. It's weird. I don't know if I like it. I'm like, it's kind of cool. It's different, but I'm still getting used to it. Let's not just build, you know, a prototype I'm going to tear down at the end of this. Let's actually put it to use. I got thinking, let's make a to-do list for our projects. We're going to use the text display for that. I think that's like a fun little way to use it. So with our design, we worked out with the minecarts. We can have, I think, 18 lines of text, maybe 19. And I think we'll do something similar. Like, we could add more if we add more double chests or shulker unloaders and stuff. But, you know, 18 sounds good to me. And because the storage room is still in such rough shape here, like, I'm here all the time. I don't bring you guys here very often because it's just a disaster. I got to work so much on this still. I don't know what it's going to look like at the end of things. So whatever we're doing here might change in the future. Okay, so I think we want our hoppers going this way, away from us. Yeah, so we'll have a big line. This is 15 blocks long. We're going for the full deal here. Like this. Get them going that way. Then we'll put our shelves on top of that. And unfortunately, there is no way to hide the hoppers if we don't do the minecart method. We just have to live with it. And I think we go in the back like this then. Yeah, okay, this doesn't look great being all one color. We're not so focused on making it look good right now. This is just like the shape we want, I think. Something tells me this is gonna take hours to work out, actually. I made my first mistake already. So we had the hoppers like like this before. And that's not going to work because then if we go like this way, it's going to steal the contents out of there. So we got to go one block lower. And I'm switching all of these to be downward facing under the shelf instead. So our goal is to move the contents of that hopper to the double chests, right? So let's figure out where those are going to go. I just realized we have two options actually. Like we could do it like this. This is the safer way of doing it. So that if we unpower this hopper and then repower it, we don't have to worry about stuff ever getting stuck in there. Because if this is locked, this hopper will take the contents out regardless. But it does make it taller. It's one block higher. So maybe, I'm going to regret this, but maybe we try to do it like this just so it's more compact. But then I'll have to deal with stuff getting stuck in the hopper. We can't do it like this because it'll power that hopper, but it'll also lock this one above, and that's two separate things we need to control. So I think what we're going to do is have a repeater going here from a redstone line running all the way down. Let's just get a bunch of these down. You always want to make sure you place your hoppers the right way, or you might have a terrible time later trying to figure out what's wrong with your system. Why aren't the items going where they belong? Then we'll need controls for locking this hopper and this hopper. I do like doing redstone. I don't do enough redstone anymore. I miss it. I'm like trying to turn into a builder, and it's like it's not quite me. So by default, we're gonna need these powered. So redstone torch. Keep that line on at all times, and then same for this one. And I think we need another line, probably is going to go over here. Nowadays, everyone just looks at a tutorial and they don't need to learn how to do any of this stuff. Oh, but in the past, let me tell you, us redstoners, we were honored. We were revered. They were desperate for our knowledge. But now everyone's just oohing and awing about trees and shading, and they don't care about the redstone arts anymore. I like building too, actually. It's good, you know, have some variety. Well, I think a lot of people have checked out of redstone. It's like they've decided, no, I'm never doing it. I'm just going to copy whatever's out there. Yep, I don't need to learn it. Just looking at it here, I think that's about as small as we can make the core components. So now it's like, how do we make this work? But don't you worry, I'm going to teach you redstone whether you like it or not. I'm like that teacher that's teaching the kids algebra, and they're like, what's the point of this? I'm never going to use this. And then 10 years later, they get a job in programming, and they're like, oh my goodness, it actually has a purpose. No, I'm just kidding around. I know a lot of you are into redstone, and I am as well, and it's great, and it's amazing, and maybe some of you will be one day. So let's learn some stuff here. So this is a good lesson, actually. Have you ever tried to power like a big wall of dropper elevators like this? Do you know the right way of doing it? Well, I'll tell you what, it's not like this. Like if you have an observer facing the droppers, you might think that would work, because like this will power the one in front of it, the one below it, the one above it. So the items should end up in this one with the setup, right? Guess what happens? They end up there, exactly like you would expect. But what happens when you start powering the one next to that? Oh, suddenly they freeze because everything's getting bud powered and things are locked, and they can no longer be powered because they're locked from the one next to it. And then you're scratching your head and you're like, oh no, how do I solve this? If only Etho taught me. The good old redstone torch line. Yeah, so check this out. Redstone torches are perfect in this case because we'll do a little demonstration here. They do not power any of the dropper elevators next to them, just what's directly in front of them. And they do it in a kind of a cool way as well. So we got those 3 items in the bottom. If we power this bottom row of all the torches, they don't just shoot up once, they shoot up twice. They're all 2 blocks up now. And then if we go 2 blocks up higher to the next row, it shoots up another 2 blocks, so they end up in the chest here. This also works great if you have like a big wall of pistons you need to power. Well, would you look at that? They are different from each other. Quite a bit different even. Yeah, wasn't expecting that. Okay. So I just got the redstone timing stuff all figured out. This took like 2 hours. It was, I tried recording it. It was a mess. But we got to the end eventually. And now I'm just trying to put the lines of text in for us to check out this thing working. And I was trying to decide what type of letters we should use, because we have 3 options actually. And besides like color and stuff, we choose if we want to use just regular banner letters, or we can apply the banner letters to shields to get a different look, and they also become non-stackable that way. Like you can do this with the shield, right? You can also apply an enchantment to a shield and get a glint effect if you want that. It would just obstruct the letters, I think, but it is an option. We want to get fancy letters. Yeah, but apparently when you put the letters in the shield, they get a little bit blurred. But they also change a bit too. Like, look at the D especially, I noticed. We have like just little grooves, but on the shield version, they're gigantic. And like all the spaces between the letters get filled in a bit more. Yeah, so I think we're going with banners. The thing with banners, though, if we go this route, we have to name them all. Because, like, let's say we have 18 different lines of text. Any letter E's in our lines of text are going to merge together in the chest when they go into it. So we have to, like, name each letter E a different thing. And each letter a different thing, which is a bit of a pain. So there's probably some way to automate this a bit, like you have a giant keyboard in the world somewhere, and when you select a letter, it like gets it ready for you and types out the message for you. I don't know. I'm doing it the old-fashioned way. So I'm just going up to my shulker box here. I got my message typed out, and I am just throwing the letters at my feet and collecting them. Farm, R, M, space, with is my next word. W, I, T, H. Okay. So I'm kind of going like this, and then I'm throwing them into a box. And you'll notice like stuff is already starting to stack together as I'm doing this. So those would be a problem letter if we didn't rename them so they're non-stackable. So this is our very first character of our first line. So maybe I do L1 for line 1 and then C1. Or maybe I do 0-1. Yeah, I think I like that. Then we'll do a copy. And then when we do the next letter, all we gotta do is backspace and 2. It's not gonna be easy. This is not exactly a practical build. It's more of a spectacle. It's for showing off, right? So we gotta put in a little extra work here. Doesn't really matter what we name them. All that matters is they can't have the same name as each other. Okay, we got all our letters. They're all named. And now I am entering them into the system, I think. You know, when I was building this, I only ever tested it by putting the letters directly into the chest. But now that I got this big long message, it's like I don't want to have to, you know, put 3 letters in here, go over one, put in 3 letters and 3 letters and 3 letters. It's so much easier if we can just put it directly into the shelf, and then we can proofread it as well before we enter it into the system. It looks good. I don't know if this is going to work though. I never actually tested this, but I'm hoping if we press the button, it's going to enter it and it's going to keep the right order of everything, and it's not going to be a problem. Okay, they went in. Where did it end up? It's not in the back, it's in the front. All right, we're getting our second line in here. Number 2, get auto item retrieval working for storage. So that's for this thing. We have auto sorting in there, but we don't have our minecart retrieval system set up quite right yet. So yeah, that's a big project. And is it gonna work now? So the first one went in okay. Now that we do the second one, is it gonna go in the right order? I have no idea what's gonna happen here. Is this the best way of doing it? I don't know. I think that's what I'm gonna try. So I'm gonna keep it locked, the back set of chests, so stuff ends up in there. And then when we're done entering all our messages, we put the redstone back. Click this. Please don't mess this all up. All right, 2, and now that should be in the back chest. That's where we want stuff to be. Yeah, okay, good. And then we will press it again, and then it'll be clear for the next message for us to enter. This is why the naming helps as well, the way we did it. So L1, C1, 2, and 3. And then 1, 2, and 3. So we can make sure they're in the right order and everything that way. And there we go. We got our 4th line ready to be entered into the to-do list. Sandy City interior and exterior decorating. I'm wondering how this looks on YouTube, like if you can actually read it. Like it looks pretty good in-game up to about here. If we go further than that, it kind of all blurs together. But on YouTube, it's probably a little bit more blurry. I feel like maybe 10 shelves wide is the sweet spot if you're doing something like this. 15 seems just a little bit too wide. But it's for fun, right? It's to try something new. Okay, so I pretty much used up all our letters. I could fill up all 18 slots of our to-do list here for sure, but I don't have the letters to do it. And I emptied all the black wool we had, so that's probably all we're gonna put in for today. But this is enough to test it at least. So let's see. We hit this. That'll enter it in. It'll go into the back chest. And now let's take our redstone dust back. And we will apply it. And I'll give you a tour of the redstone here in just a second. And put that there. So now do they all flow, hopefully, into the front chest? Okay, yeah, it looks like it's good. Order looks good. Yeah, okay, we're good. So the one thing we got to do, though, and this is a little janky, because remember how I decided to keep that one hopper a little weird where stuff can get stuck in it? Well, we got to prime the system because of that. We got to get one item into that hopper. No more. If we put more than one in, it's going to go out of whack. So that is this hopper, I think. Right? Or no, it's this hopper. This hopper. Yeah, that's the hopper. So that is this line, this redstone torch. So I'm just going to give it a quick pulse. Yeah, took one item out, and now all of these should have one item in. Primed, ready to go. Okay, cool. And I think with that, we are ready to give it a try here. Hopefully it's all good. We'll press the button. And our first message should show up. Yeah. Number 1, upgrade shulker farm with auto snow golems. Number 2. Look at that. That looks so cool when it shows up. It kind of like fades in and fades out. Get auto item retrieval working for storage. And you know, maybe one day I will redo this and it won't be a to-do list. Maybe it'll just be a message board or something. I think something like this could be cool for like billboards. You imagine you have like a picture above and then the text at the bottom. And maybe as you go by on a rail or something, it tells it to change. You know, there's stuff you could use this for. Build trial tunnel and mob killing chambers. Our trial chamber farm project. So we got a lot left to do that on that. I'm trying to reserve this for like multiple hour projects because it does take like 5 to 15 minutes just to enter it into the to-do list. But I'll try to keep this updated and add new stuff as we need to. Okay, so now it should go back to 1 because we only put 4 in. Look at that. Oh, it's so cool. Yeah, so for now, I think we're just going to leave this running on a hopper clock, and it'll always be changing in the background. It'll be a cool little focal point of the area. Yeah, add some motion to the place, you know, and also a good reminder for me. I won't be able to ignore my projects if they're always in my face like this. So let's take a quick tour of the redstone here. Most of this redstone is just for controlling the timings of things like pulse lengths and the order of operations and stuff. Let's see here. Some of these repeaters are at weird timings, like this one's at 3. This one's at 2 over here. This is on subtract mode. This is a comparator clock. Always make sure if you see a slab, put a slab, otherwise it'll lock the hopper and activate the droppers and stuff if they're not the same, you know, if you're trying to copy this. What else? Let's get a view from above. Might make things easier if you're trying to copy this. And what else? So I tried to design this to be almost silent as well. I didn't want to have a bunch of dropper noises going and all that kind of stuff, pistons. So these are silent monostables here. They shoot the item into the hopper and then you detect when that happens and it sends out a quick pulse kind of thing. This piston thing is for the reset, so it's resetting right now when the block is there. And then when it finishes, it goes back. It's like a smart system. It actually checks if the chest is empty and then when it's full again. That's good because if you have like varying length messages, you don't have to adjust the timing or anything. It just knows when to reset and stuff. Cool. Well, that's about it. I have one more project I want to do today. So back when we were working on the 12 trial chamber project, these shulker boxes are all the copper we got from that. And some random stuff there. Plus everything in here came from that project. All these tough bricks and stuff. These are all full of that, whatever you see. And then we also got even more copper here. So with the copper update that's come out, I think we need to make a way of oxidizing copper stuff. Because if I want to use those lanterns, the lightning rods, the trapdoors, there's so many things now. You can't craft oxidized stuff with oxidized copper. You have to convert this to regular copper, craft the thing, and then have it oxidized in the world somewhere, which takes a lot of time. If you're trying to build something quickly, you don't want to be waiting around for that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I want to set up a dedicated area in our world for aging copper. Like, copper is such a big block in this game now. I haven't used it a lot in the Let's Play here because I haven't had copper until that trial chamber project, pretty much. And also, we haven't had a way of aging it. So let's set up a room for doing that. We want to be able to do a lot of it at once, and we want to be able to do it quickly. And there is a way of doing that. I thought this would be a good spot for it underneath the pumpkin farm, underneath the lava farm here. This is already an area where we're spending a bit of time. So let's put another time-based project here. So how does copper aging work in this game? Well, let's say we got a copper block and it's trying to age. It will check if there's any other copper blocks within 4 blocks of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be outside of its range. And that's why when we're trying to oxidize copper super quickly, we space it 5 blocks or more apart, because any copper within its range has a chance of slowing it down, which we'll talk about. But the problem with spacing it like this is it gets super tedious to pick it up and place it and all that kind of stuff. So ideally we want to make a room where we can have a big grid of copper, or at least rows of it, right, that we can place and collect super easily, you know. So this is kind of the shape all around the copper block. So imagine 8 of these all around of it, like one over here, one here, top and bottom as well. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, that's within the range. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's within range. 1, 2, 3, 4. So all these are within the range of this copper block, and will affect it. How do they affect it? Well, let's say we're trying to age this and it has a less oxidized block within its range. So this is one stage below this one, right? If it sees this, it will never oxidize beyond this point because this prevents it. It has to be at the same level or more oxidized in order for this one to progress. So let's say we got a bunch of these and maybe one of these. It's unlikely this will advance an oxidization step. Like, it's a matter of proportions. If there's a lot of these around it though, then it's more likely to oxidize when it tries to. So we want to build a room that has a lot of these like super oxidized blocks within 4 block range of the ones we're trying to oxidize. So what's our plan for this room? Well, I'm going to try fill the floor and the ceiling. I'm going a little crazy with this. I'm going more than I need to. But I want to go 3 blocks thick and then a slab on top. So it's 4 blocks thick of copper. Slabs or full blocks, it doesn't matter what we use. The big thing is I don't think they can be waxed, whatever we do use, in order for them to affect it properly. And then we're going to have a ceiling that's 3 with a slab, and we'll be able to walk between that. And then whatever we're going to try age is going to go in between here. So it's going to be like not a good looking room because we're just going to have a ceiling right at the top of our head here, and it's going to be all copper. But yeah, if we can fill the room with that, it'll be able to age stuff super quickly. But if you're doing this for yourself, like I'm overkilling this. Like if you look proportionally on here, it's a question of volume. There's almost no blocks in the top 3 or 4 rows of the diamond shape here, or at the bottom 3 or 4. So really going beyond 1 or 2 of these is almost unnecessary. But I'm gonna do it just because why not? I didn't put a lot of thought into this room, and it's starting to show. It's pretty bad. But you know, it's all about function. It's not about looks. I didn't even think about the lighting at all, though, and now I'm realizing, like, we got to put some lighting in the walls and probably at least a couple in the middle, or it's going to be super dark in here. Yeah, we need something. So I grabbed some tough bricks from our trial chamber project we did, and I'm just going to use that for the sides, and then some frog lights. All my oxidized copper blocks are from the trial chambers, and those are all waxed, and I don't think we can use waxed copper blocks for this, so I have to place them and then de-wax them. But it's not so bad because like these big blocks, when you turn them into the slabs, you get, I think it's 8 each. Like, it's a lot. Yeah, 8 each from that. So you get a ton. A stack goes a long ways. Oh, you know what? We never got to playing around with the copper golems today even. And this episode's already 40 minutes long. Like, where did the time go on this one? We only did like the one thing. Oh, it doesn't make any sense. Oh. I think with the copper golems, like, we have the auto sorting at our storage system now. They're not really going to help us in that department, I don't think, too much. Maybe for smaller projects, we could set one up for like a villager sorting system or something. I think the main thing I'm going to get value out of with them is crafting stuff. Maybe like a redstone factory. If we could figure out a way to have them always keep a certain number of redstone supplies crafted for us, that would be really cool. Okay, so the plan is to fill these 3 blocks in with solid copper in the ceiling here, as well as down below. I gotta mine this out and fill in 3 blocks below as well. But this is the general room. I put some frog lights in the ceiling, and we should be able to just like run through here. Ooh. Oh, it's so hard to get centered. It doesn't really matter too much. I'll probably lay stuff out in rows. The more we space things out, the faster they will age as well. Like, we could put them in solid grids, but it's better if we do rows like this. Boy, that's hard to place. Yeah, so put a bunch of this stuff down. Chains, because we're not like right at ground level, we're half a slab down. I'm hoping these will be easier to place, like if we hold shift. But yeah, I'm going to try to get that room finished up as this video renders and uploads. But I think this is where we wrap it up for today with the comment of the day. It says, Etho, do you ever think you'll return to old projects like Slab City or the underwater base? I think you could do a great job with them with your newer building skills. Slab City is definitely abandoned. I learned a valuable lesson with that. Like, I set some very strict restrictions, that's weird to say, on how that city needed to be built. Like, it had to be 9 by 9, I think, with 4 tall tiles, and it was meant to be very square. And then when it came time to decorating it, I realized just how important organic shapes are to making things look nice. And I got a little demotivated on that project, because I wanted a square look that looked nice, and I couldn't pull it off. But ever since then, I've went harder into organic shapes. So it taught me something important. Underwater base, like, I've always wanted to make an underwater base. I've seen some people do some cool stuff, and I haven't really attempted it too well. I think in the future, like, if I try to do these kinds of projects, I want to start fresh and not like build off of something that barely got started. Is the way to go. The amplified base, I do have some plans. Hermitcraft Season 11 is coming up, and we will be resurrecting some of those ideas from the amplified base. Thanks for the question. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day. You take care. Bye-bye.